If you're looking for a job, it can seem like everything requires 3 to 5 years of experience. In fact, experience can be the crucial factor in who gets hired and who doesn't. Employers love experience. But data also shows that post-secondary education is essential for higher lifetime earnings. So how can you get both? Education and experience? Internships. According to a 2012 study by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, 59% of businesses hired their paid interns as new full-time employees. This may be why 65% of 25 to 32-year-olds in the labor force said more work experience while in school would have helped them get the job they wanted. By cultivating the professional networks and skills you'll need to succeed, internships can really improve your employability regardless of what you're majoring in. In fact, a recent Auburn University study showed that interning in a career field could be even more important than majoring in that field when it comes to getting a job interview. And while unpaid internships were a big thing in the past, the U.S. Department of Labor now issues legal guidelines that encourage employers to pay interns for their work. In fact, both national and local data indicate that the overwhelming majority of internships are paid. So intern early and intern often. And if you're a rising college junior or senior looking for an internship, check out the Kentuckiana Works College to Career program. It places good interns with good companies in paid internships. To be considered for a 2015 summer or fall internship, apply now at cdclouisville.org.
Hi everyone, today we are talking about expectation versus reality. You get an internship and you expect it to be one thing and then it's totally different, right? So I am here to be your reality princess. I'm going to tell you exactly how it actually is. So I think a lot of times young people get internships, they get really excited. A lot of times the internships have a lot of name brand appeal, right? They're at really exciting fashion magazines or clothing companies or PR firms, and you're so excited. You think it's going to be so glamorous. Maybe you'll run into a celebrity. Maybe you'll get to meet the editor of a magazine, and then you get there. And then what happens, right? It's not so glamorous after all. You guys, I had an internship years ago at NBC, and I thought it was going to be so cool. And it was cool, but in a different way than I expected it to be. So I had this internship at NBC in their marketing department, and the offices were right where the Jay Leno show was filming. So I thought, ooh, I'm going to get to see Jay Leno again. I'm going to meet celebrities. This is going to be so great. Guess where I was? I was downstairs in the basement where they keep all of the old tapes, the archive room, and I was alphabetizing old clips for hours and hours and hours. Now, was this the glamorous NBC Universal that I thought it would be? No, but I did learn a lot about what goes on behind the scenes at a big television network and the different jobs that are needed in order to produce the flashy final products that you see on television. So again, I think you go in a lot thinking that it's going to be all glamour, and then you get there and you think, uh-oh, there's actually a lot of work that happens here. But that's really important for you to know, because after graduation, you're going to have to decide where you want to work and what you want to do, and you want to know what the real side of these companies looks like before you graduate and actually land a job there. So again, just want to give you some insight on the expectation there versus the reality. Now, I think on the other hand, there's a lot of things that you don't think are going to happen at an internship that actually do happen. So I think sometimes you expect to go into an internship. Maybe you think that it'll sort of be a check in the box. You were always told you should do an internship. You'll go in, it'll be a couple hours a week here and there. You'll do some work. Some will be cool, some won't, and that'll be it. And I think sometimes internships can really surprise you because, first of all, you'll make a lot of great connections and build a lot of solid relationships that you didn't necessarily think you would build. Something that surprised me at my internships was that I met people who changed the course of my career path. I met so many people who really took me under their wing and were there to help me and guide me through every point in my career after college. Some of these people are still in my life today. So that was a reality of my internships that wasn't necessarily an expectation. And I think the best part of an internship is that you don't really expect to go in there and have like a light bulb moment where everything changes, but I did. I went into my first internship, and I think I've talked about this with you guys before, but I went into my first internship just again thinking I was going to kind of go through the motions of whatever I needed to do, and I had that amazing light bulb moment where I said, oh my goodness, I want to be like the people around me. I want to be inspired every day at work. I want to be challenged every day. And that first internship really changed the course of the rest of my career. So hopefully this helps you guys understand the difference between what you think an internship is going to be and what it really is. But I'm telling you, regardless of what you might have to do here and there, it is so worth it. And this is an opportunity that is going to be pivotal for the rest of your career. So go intern and good luck.
Hello, I'm here at Bright Network HQ, and we thought we'd put together a quick little video for you on how to turn your internship into a job offer. So here are our top 5 tips. Number 1, remember you're in an elongated job interview process when you're doing an internship. 37% of all graduate jobs go to people who have done internships. So make sure right from the start you're super proactive, you're super energized, you're really making a great first impression, you're asking for work, you're really showing them that you deserve the full-time role. Secondly, make sure you're communicating with your manager extensively. Talk to them a lot, try and get as much feedback from them as possible, and make sure that you can show you can communicate on a professional level with them. Thirdly, it's really important to make sure you always have this, a notebook. Super useful to take notes in meetings, to write down your to-do list so you don't forget things that need to be done, and to make sure you come across as organised and somebody who's on top of your work. Fourthly, it's really important when you're doing your internship that you balance the social side. The firms are going to want to entertain you, show you the social side of the firm, but it's really important you don't overdo it, have too much to drink, get yourself in a sticky situation. We get lots of stories here at Bright Network about students who overstep the mark a bit, and recruiters share these stories with us, and these people do not get hired. Fifth, and really important as well, is make sure you stay in contact with the firms once you've left the organisation. A lot of job interviews for the full-time graduate roles will take place towards the end of the internship, but some you might have to go back and re-interview again. So keep that contact, keep that bond. If you've done the hard work, making a great impression whilst you're doing the internship, make sure you keep up that great impression by staying in contact. And there are 5 top tips to help you get ahead and turn your internship into a full-time job offer.
Hey everyone, so today we are talking about 5 things you should not do at your internship. My friends and I were sitting around and chatting this weekend, and everyone is successful executives now, and the subject of interns came up, and we were just talking about some of the things that happen in the office, and they're almost different than what used to happen in the office. I mean, students and young people, they always need tips and tricks on how to be better at their internship, but some of the things that are happening now are not okay. So let's talk about the 5 mistakes that students make at their internships. I think probably the biggest frustration that we've had at times with our intern queen interns is just a lack of response and communication, and sometimes that might mean outside of internship hours. So of course during your internship hours you're going to be really communicative, and then as a student you're going to have class and extracurriculars and all these other things, but I do think that a 24-hour response time is appropriate, and anything over that is a little bit strange. We know that as students you're sort of on your phone and texting. I mean, we're all young too and texting all the time, but if we're texting you or asking you a question outside of business hours because maybe we're trying to coordinate something or understand your schedule for the following week, just make sure that you do try to respond and try to prioritize that communication as best as you can. You can't always respond, and of course there's going to be times when you're on an airplane or in a movie theater, but I think when you can respond, definitely make sure you do. Don't be someone that's hard to communicate with. Again, that doesn't mean being glued to your phone, but don't be someone that's hard to communicate with. The second thing is ask questions, and even in a small office. So intern queen, we're a small office. We're like 5 people, but one of our interns could be working with one of our executives, and then another executive could say, hey, will you help me with something? And sometimes the intern doesn't communicate to executive number 2 that they're working on something for executive number 1. And even though we're a small office, we're not always telling one another what the interns are working on. So we really rely on the interns to communicate their workload from executive to executive, from department to department. And a lot of times that means asking about the priority. Yes, Danielle, I would love to help you, but just so you know, Jennifer down the hall asked me to do something earlier. What should I work on first? So again, the second tip is communicate that workload. The third tip is if you are hung over at your internship, I don't want to know. Using the word recovering, weird, right? I don't need to see that you went out to some 3-day long party and then came to the office and 3 days later you're recovering. That's inappropriate, okay? There is a line, so make sure you don't share too much information. That's TMI at your internship. The fourth thing is if you need to request off for your internship, you need to ask ahead of time. If you're sick, that is an acceptable reason to call off of your internship the day of. If a family member, God forbid, passes away, that is a reason to call off. But make sure that the night before your internship, you're not like, oh, sorry, forgot I have a family trip tomorrow and I'm going to be gone for a week. That would be inappropriate. So make sure that you are aware of your schedule, that you're keeping a calendar, you know where you're going and when you're going, and you're not coming up with things out of nowhere and telling your company the night before. They put a lot of work into all of you coming into their shop, right, into their office. So you want to make sure that you're showing them that you really respect the time that they're investing in you. Another mistake that I think interns make a lot is just bringing all of their stress from the outside world into their internship. So we've worked with interns in the past who have been crying during their internship because they're so stressed about this and that. Just like anything else, you want to leave that baggage outside. Walk in with a fresh attitude and make the most of the experience. And I would say my last piece of advice in terms of things not to do at your internship is don't just do the work and then after the internship say, well, I really wish I did more of this, or I really wish I did more of that. Come into your internship with a goal, and every few weeks, touch base with your internship coordinator and your employer. Remind them of what your dream job is, and make sure that you're doing the kind of work that you originally signed up for and the kind of work that aligns with your future career goals. At Intern Queen, we always love it when a student reminds us halfway through the internship that they're going after a career in publicity. That reminds us that we should give that intern PR-related tasks to do. Does that mean every day is going to be a PR day? No, but it definitely helps us remember and kind of cater their workload to specific tasks that are going to help them progress in the career path that they are personally interested in. So I know that's a lot of advice on what to do and what not to do at your internship, but again, this is a huge opportunity. Internships change lives. So listen to my advice, take it in, breathe it in, and go rock that internship. If you're looking for any more internship advice, comment below, and I'm the Intern Queen. I'm here to answer your questions.
Congratulations, you got that internship, yes! This is such an exciting time, and for a lot of you, I know it's gonna be the first time you're in an office, so I'm gonna help you out. The lessons, the horror stories, everything I learned the hard way from interning at New York One, CNN, AC360, you're about to learn right now. The do's and don'ts of interning is about to begin. It's day one. You're nervous, you're anxious, you're excited, you want to stand out, but this is what you don't do. Hey, I'm the new intern here.
Hi,
I'm Jackie.
I'm Scott.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, if you need any help, I guess they told me to sit over here.
Okay, have a seat.
Excuse me, can I log on to Facebook on this?
Really? You want to log on to Facebook?
Yes. That is what you don't do. On your first day of interning, someone might introduce you to the entire staff, but more likely than not, they're going to introduce you to one person, and that's it. It is your job to say hi to people. Do not be that intern that sits at their desk all day waiting for people to say hi to you, because it's not going to happen. And I know it's awkward to introduce yourself to people, but remember, you made it this far, you got this. Now here's what you do. Introduce yourself to everybody there. I know it's awkward, but you gotta do it. And have some questions prepared in the back of your mind so you get that conversation started. Questions like, how long have you worked here? What's a typical day like for you? How can I be of most help to you? Those kind of questions will get a conversation going. And most importantly, remember people's names. It shows that you care. So when I interned at CNN, I carried around a notebook with me, made a map of the office, wrote people's names down on that map, and then I had everybody's name memorized. Another tip that I got from my friend about his interning experience is, if you can, choose a seat next to the boss so that they see you, and then maybe they're more inclined to ask you to do some work. Your next do, know the company and the people inside. I want you to pinpoint the people you want to grow a relationship with, the mentors you want to have. You applied for this internship for a reason, so you got to do your homework. For example, if you want to be an on-air reporter, this is how you'd introduce yourself. Hi, Kristen.
Yes, hi.
I'm Jackie. I'm the new intern here.
Hi, nice to meet you.
I have watched your work. I think you do such a great
Oh,
job
that's so
reporting.
nice.
I love what you did with the Children's Hospital and how you got the people to talk. And I was just hoping I could shadow you one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's it. You know, we typically don't have interns come up to us and ask, so this is a first for me, so I definitely will help.
Okay, and I know how to shoot and edit, so anything you need, I can do.
Okay, perfect. Let's get going.
Cool. Here's what you don't do. Don't go in there not knowing who's who. You wouldn't go into Good Morning America and ask Robin Roberts who she is or what she does, because you know why? You'd be written off immediately. I was anchoring at a station where an intern asked an anchor who'd been there for nearly 20 years, we're talking legend status in that market, who they were and what they did. And needless to say, that anchor never asked that intern for any sort of help. A big lesson there. Interning is basically a full-time job. When I interned, I would do it 3 days a week for 8 to 10 hours a day. So you're gonna be hungry. I'm not gonna tell you what to eat, but this is what you don't wanna do. I was interning at a PR firm where all the employees, including the CEO, worked in a small office. I was in college trying to save money, so I made this chicken herb kind of dish that was super fragrant. I'm talking smell fills the whole room and lingers kind of fragrant. At this office, everybody had lunch together. The associates invited me and the other intern to eat with them, and needless to say, the entire office smelled like chicken. And after that day, the interns were no longer asked to have lunch with them because of me. And I don't want that to happen to you. Instead, pack some food that doesn't smell. I'm talking apples, bananas, even though they smell a little bit, yogurt, sandwiches, all of those pretty good and safe choices. Those are a few do's and don'ts from me to you. But remember, you got this internship, you're in the door, and now you just gotta make it count. I hope you found this helpful, and please share this with anyone else who you think might need this kind of information. And also, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do that by clicking right here. I'll see you soon.